Okay, so we're looking at question 12 again. What I'm trying to do here is trying to help you to break down the question so that you can code it properly. So the first thing you need to do is reading the question. We need to understand what is it do we need. So we need to understand what is the requirements. So what the code requirements is. So first of all, we reading from the code, we also know that the data stored in the JSON format. So basically we need to read the JSON file, right? And then when they also inspecting the JSON file, the players area here, it seems like it's being stored inside the array. So the JSON is an object. So player data stored in an array. All right. So that's what the first thing we need to do. So we need to be able to read and process the array, which is fine. And then after we process the array, we also need to show every single player. So that means we need to iterate through all players. So since they are in the array, so that basically means we're going to need a for loop. And then we need to display the player gamer tag, which is easy because we can just check that one out. I'll go back to the age because that's a bit difficult, but we want to do percentage gamesWon. So percentage, so we need to show gamer tag, we need to show percentage gamesWon. Now, looking at the data here, we do have total games of played and games won. So how do we calculate percentage? So this is where the math skills that you have will have. So percentage is normally games won over games played. So we're gonna say percentage equals games won divided by games played. Now, one thing that you also have to remember whenever you do percentage, you always have to multiply it by 100. Otherwise, it will not result in the right number. So we're gonna go multiply by 100. So if you do 40 divided by, if you do 4 divided by 10, you're gonna end up with 0.4. So that's why you have to multiply by 100 so that we can get 40%. So that's a thinking. Now we also have to show the birthday, the age. The age will be the tricky one. But if you think about it, you can solve the problem because if you what do you need to know to calculate your current age? Well, first of all, you need to know what is the current date, right? So we need to know, and after we need the current date, we need to compare the birthday against current date. So first of all, we can use the years to calculate appropriate age. So for example, if we go current date, let's just say current date here is 15 June 2025. Right? So regardless of the birthday, so we're not gonna worry about the date and the month for now. So don't worry about the date and the month. We just need to worry about 2006 or 2000, yeah, 2005. So that means it is about 20 years old. Right. So now we need to figure out about the the adjustments, right? Because are you really 20 years old? If you do general, then yes, you are 20 years old. But if if your birthday month, so let's say if your birthday month is August, then you are not really 20 years old. You are still 19 years old because you haven't touched your birthday month. So we have to compare the month. If your month is more than the current month, then you haven't celebrated your birthday. Well, what if your birthday is 17th of June? Then you are still 19 years old. So we need to figure out that in the formula. And the 19 years old, how we get the 19 years old is that we just offset the 20 years by 1 because you haven't celebrated the birthday. So those are the functional requirements that we need. So now we can use the pseudocode references that we have. I'm just doing that for simply. So, and then we can follow here. So what we can do is we can do set player array equals blank array, right? And then we can do read player JSON. Okay, so I'm following the code, so I don't like this. Let's just adjust this one. Set, so we go read player JSON, read player JSON into player JSON. Then we go set player array equal to player JSON dot player. So what we're doing here is that we are reading this entire object into a variable called player JSON, and then we just reading the array component here to this second line here. So set player array to player JSON dot players. So there is no set way to do it, but that's if I'm following my code, that's what I'm gonna do, right? And then now we're going to iterate. So we're gonna go for, I can do I or I can do P, right? From 0, because in array we always operate from 0. So for P, let's see what for P. Oh, we can do this one for P equals 0, right? To uh, player array dot length. Now, because of this one, we have to do length minus 1 because we don't want to go all the way to the end, because remember, array that has a length of 10, it will go from 0 to 9. So that's why we go that one. And then make it a habit. So we go N4, or we do for loop. Normally for loop is the pseudocode, I think. So we have to get the idea of it. All right, so now we can go set. So we can read one player. So we can do set player equals player array at position P. So this one here, we just reading a player from the array. So that one will keep us simple and will keep us easily to work, right? So now we can go print. So we can go display player dot. Now let's look at the command here. We go player dot gamerTag. gamerTag. Okay. So now we need to calculate the percentage. So we can go set percentage equals player dot gamesWon divided by player dot gamesPlayed multiplied by 100. Then we can go display can do a string, so we can go gamesWon plus percentage plus percent. So that's what we can do. Right. So we have completed two sections. So we can go, we've done the gamerTag and the percentage. So now we need to do age. So following the formula that we have on the top here, right? So we can go, let's see, we can keep it simple. So we can go set current date. No, we can go leave, get, we can go get. What does the answer say here? I'm just following that what's the answer. So we can go get, okay. Okay. We just follow the answer, or we can go this one here. So get current date. We just keep it simple like this one. So let's treat the current date as sort of an object. So we can do that one. Then we can go set birth date equals player dot date of birth. So now we can go calculation set age equals current date dot get year. So we can do this one. We can go function, right? Or we can do this one as well. So if you think about we think of the date as an object, so we can do that one as well, right? So we go birth date dot year. So this should work as well. The whole idea is like that, right? And then now we need to apply our conditioning. So we go an if condition. If, right? If the current date, sorry, birth date or current date, so that's the current date dot month is less than birth date of month, then we do age equals set age equals age minus 1. So we need to subtract. So that's the first condition. Now, if the first condition doesn't satisfy, so that means we are having the same month. So if we have the same month, then we can do the second one. Let's see, my condition is right. Okay, so now we do another else if. So if the month is not less than, we need to do is it the same? Current date of month, is it the same as birth date of month? If it is the same, then we need to do another if current date dot date is less than birth date dot date. So that basically means that the date hasn't passed. Like um, the current is 15 and then the birth date is 17. So we go then and go set age equals age minus 1. We need to end if the inner one, and then we need to end if the outer one. So don't forget. So that's why we use tabs so that we can actually see the alignment. So let me just right? So that's how. So this end if goes that one, this one goes that one. So this is the one that you need to get your head around. So then when we can see, once you finish here, then we can do display age, go plus age. Yeah, unfortunately, there is no easy way. Like whenever we coding, we don't write all the code in one go. We write the code in pieces, we compile it, we test run it, and then we write again. So as you can see, the code is similar. They using this breakdown. I'm using something different. I'm treating the date as an object. So that's one way. This is another way. You can basically specify anything you want. Also, they're doing the current year on the top. We are getting it in the middle of the of the body, but that's fine. That doesn't matter. It's just that this is no longer efficient in terms of coding. If this one here you doesn't change, technically we put it on the top, but should be fine. We're not worried about the efficiency as well. So that's how we go how we do it. Well, I hope that sort of helps you to understand how to break down the question so that you can get a code to be up and running. All right, thank you. Off to the next question.